Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So this might be, obviously I don't know for sure, but this might be the start of our inventory increasing in Halton Hills. It felt last week very busy with new listings. So looking at the numbers this week, Georgetown had 9 sales. That's very much in line when we think about a regular week of what we've been seeing. It's like 8 to 12 sales. Anything above that 12 mark is considered a high week. So we had 9 sales. So properties are still moving. It's just not like craziness. But the interesting number is we had 17 new listings. So that's a lot of new listings. There was a day last week, I think we had 8 new listings, which once we get to sort of seeing 10 plus new listings in a given day in Halton Hills, that's a lot of new listings. And that trend usually starts to pile things on. So last week we're getting pretty close to that. So 17 new listings is a high week in terms of new listings. The saving grace right now that is, in my opinion, keeping inventory at bay is the people that are still taking their properties off the market. We're still seeing terminations, whether it's people not getting the price that they were hoping for or properties expiring because they've been overpriced and on the market so long. We're still seeing stuff every week coming off the market and not re-entering. So that's keeping our inventory levels at bay. So in Acton, we had 2 sales and 1 new listing. Nothing crazy there. Glen Williams had 1 sale, no new listings, no sales or new listings in Limehouse. And there was 1 sale, but 3 new listings in the rural market, which is actually a lot for the rural market to see. So now looking at active inventory. Last week we were at 108 active listings. We are up to 112 active listings. So that's not a massive jump compared to the gap we saw between sales and new listings in Georgetown and the rural market. But again, properties came off, so that's keeping inventory sort of level. When we look at Georgetown, we are up from 60 to 64 active listings. So again, not a huge jump, but as things start to come up more rapidly and things start to pile on, buyers always are like, well, let's see what happens. And so sales tend to slow. And so being at, how many times have I said so today, guys? Being at 64 active listings isn't high by any means. Our inventory is still low, but we were in a downward trend there for a few weeks. So now that we're starting to see a lot more stuff coming on the market, I think this is going to shift. I think. Now looking at our active price points, under 800,000 is up from 8 to 11 active listings. That's a lot of listings under 800,000. But one of the things we are seeing is people holding off offers, listing at $799 and hoping to get more. So under 800,000, we have quite a few sitting at $799 that actually want over that. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out if the holding off of offers actually comes back in full steam and works. Because we had a property that was listed at like $899. They went down to $699, tried to hold off offers. They went back up to pretty close to their original price, and then now they're reducing their price. So it's not always working. So it's just interesting to see some people re-implementing that strategy. I'm not currently there yet. I still think, despite the market moving, I don't think the holding off of offers is the right strategy in the Halton Hills market right now. But I mean, that's not to say it won't come back with a vengeance if this inventory doesn't start climbing. So 800 to $1 million remain the same this week at 15 active listings. 1 to 1.5 million is up slightly from 19 to 20 listings. And 1.5 million plus remain the same at 18. When we look at the 1.5 million plus, what's interesting is 8 of those, so almost half of them are over, or $2 million or over. And half of those are subdivision houses, what I would consider a subdivision house. So not like a custom house, nothing crazy. So there's still 4 people on the market in a subdivision within town that are hoping to get over $2 million for their property. Like, I don't know. I just don't have anyone that would spend over $2 million on a subdivision house right now. So, I mean, that's, I think, the general consensus. So that price point continues to be a bit of a struggle if you've got a listing there. Looking at Acton is down slightly from 13 to 12 active listings. So things are sitting at a normal level in Acton. We got really high there. We've also been really low this time last year there, but 12 to like 16 to me is like normal-ish in Acton. Glen Williams is down from 9 to 8 active listings. Again, that's kind of high for the Glen. 4 to 6 would be normal in the Glen. Limehouse is sitting at 2 active listings, the same as last week. That's kind of normal. Limehouse doesn't see a ton of listings. The rural market is up from 24 to 26 active listings. Anything over like 22, even 20 active listings in the rural market, it just means there's a lot, and that's a high number for me. So this number really started to skyrocket in the last 6 weeks, and it's continuing to climb. Again, the stuff in the rural market is a higher price point, so less transactions are happening in the rural market. So overall, I think this week is interesting, not because any of the numbers sort of, well, aside from the new listings in Georgetown, none of the numbers were like swaying things too crazy. But what I saw last week when we're looking every day at our new listings, I saw a lot of new listings hitting the market and not a ton of relists. There was a couple of relists, but not a ton that, like, you know, we're at $9.99 and then relisted at $9.49. That's what I'm talking about with a relist. So overall, the trend that I saw last week, if that continues this week, I definitely think we are pointing in the direction of like the spring market in terms of listings being in full swing. And as we get through the spring market, our inventory generally starts to pile on. So watching these numbers really closely, every day I'm looking at the new listings to sort of see what trends I'm seeing. And so the trend last week felt very much like what we were seeing, you know, end of March, start of April last year, and that's when things really started to turn. So watching it closely, I might be completely wrong, and next week we might dive back to 100 new or 100 active listings. I don't know. But just the vibe I'm getting, we're starting to see more listings, and that's really what we need right now, because inventory is sitting a little low and demand is higher than it's been, I would argue, since like last May and June. So I will be back next Tuesday to see if we are still trending in the way that I am anticipating. So have a great week, everyone.